Hey man, say man, it's your boy Big Dreams. Welcome back to the channel. Before we carry on any further with this video, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, most importantly, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that post notification bell. Set it to all. We is back with another banging video, back with another reaction video, man. And today we are reacting to 14 most horrifying details of P. Diddy's newest all-word lawsuits. Finna dig in here and see what's going on. I'm not gonna make the opening of this video too long. All I ask is that y'all smash that like button so this video can rank higher in the algorithm. Go crazy in the comments. Let me know what you want me to react to. And if you watching me and you not subscribed, man, subscribe. That's all I ask. We about to go ahead and dig into this video, man.
Another week and another handful of civil suits filed against P. Diddy. This time with perhaps the most shocking allegation we've heard so far, that Diddy apparently sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl after the VMAs. Her lawsuit says Diddy came at her with a crazed look in his eyes before raping her alongside an unnamed celebrity. But that's not the only new civil suit Diddy's facing. There are 4 others with equally as disturbing allegations, and we're breaking down all 14 shocking new revelations. The lawsuits against P. Diddy are starting to stack up, with a handful of new civil suits filed just this week. Houston-based attorney Tony Busby warned us this would happen, saying over the next few weeks he plans to file 120 lawsuits against Diddy. We've already seen a slew of suits with shocking allegations, all echoing the disturbing pattern even the feds accuse him of. Forcing his victims to take laced drugs or spiking their alcoholic drinks, sexually assaulting these victims or forcing them to sexually assault others, and later recording all of these assaults as blackmail against victims to keep them quiet. This all came to a head last month when Diddy was arrested in New York and federally charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The federal indictment focuses on what Diddy referred to as freak-offs, described as elaborate sex performances during which Diddy would masturbate and record. This is also where those 1,000 bottles of baby oil and food come in.
To kind of just add on to like what she said, if I'm being honest, I feel like that's what they're trying to base like the entire trial off of. It's like the freak off tapes. I don't feel like they're trying to open up other doors to other things that have happened in the past to like really like nail them for real. It's like the freak offs, the victims and the allegations, in which those people, if they were, you know what I'm saying, a part of something that traumatized them for life, they have the right to step forth. But I'm saying it's more to this puzzle than just the freak offs and the celebrities who were a part of the freak offs and all this, you know, essaying and R word. And it's more to the puzzle than just that. You know, I feel as if they're just digging into that portion of it mainly. If they added a lot of other things onto it, did a little bit more investigating in different areas, the success rate of really nailing Diddy can shoot up through the roof. But it's all in if they're gonna actually do that or not. But from what it's looking like, they're just focusing on like the freak offs and like all of the victims who've been like violated basically.
Multiple civil suits and the indictment all state that Diddy's scheme was facilitated by his associates. They were allegedly required to schedule these freak-offs, procure sex workers, transport victims or sex workers across state lines, and sometimes even internationally. There are more allegations.
These mushrooms make
because it's most definitely, bro, it's definitely more to the puzzle than just these, you know what I'm saying, allegation of these allegations and all this stuff that's coming out. It's definitely more to it, bro. I don't feel as if they're focused on Biggie Smalls murder or Tupac murder or Aaliyah and all of these things who certain people have been saying for the longest P. Diddy played a big part and this person dying and that person dying. They're not focused on that. They're focused on the freak offs. They confiscated those electronic devices for a reason. And that's what they're mainly focused on right now, which is nothing wrong with that, because that's pretty much the biggest of the puzzle, is the people who've been violated, drugged, all this stuff. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle, but not the only piece of the puzzle, if you get what I'm saying. If they dug a little bit deeper into it, bro, they can find some more stuff. And which I'm sure everybody knows. I just feel as if they want to bring this particular portion of the whole thing to the spotlight. And which is nothing wrong with that.
Stuffed with drugs,
you know, if he did it,
he
just got
like
he got to suffer the consequences for what he did.
Marijuana or even pills. These
I'm just saying there's more to it.
GHB will play a major role in these new civil lawsuits. So the feds and dozens of survivors all say Diddy's alleged sex trafficking scheme wasn't a solo effort. He had some assistance from all sorts of people, from those he worked with to other celebrities. This is something we've heard rumblings about for weeks, that some A-list celebs could be seen on incriminating videos showing their participation in these so-called freak-offs. And we've been told by the very attorney filing these suits that the names will shock us. While some celebrities are mentioned in this new wave of lawsuits, the ones actually accused of committing illegal acts.
Let me speak on that too. I don't mean to stop the video so much, but let me speak on that too. They're gonna, if they do quote unquote name drop celebrities, it's just gonna be people who they want us to know and they want to be canceled in the public eye. If they do name drop, they have a whole list of names, bro. It's not just celebrities. It's probably governors, politicians, people who are an important part of the United States government, probably, who are on that list. They're not gonna drop those names though. They're just gonna drop the celebrities. I have said time and time again, there is more than just Hollywood involved in this, bro. It's some high profile people that are a part of an important plan somewhere whose identity is not going to be released. They're just going to release the identities of the people who they want us to know about. They ain't going to say everybody. They just going to release who they want us to know about. But it's a lot more to it than what we think and what they're telling us.
During our one-on-one interview, this same attorney, Tony Busby, told me he plans to name drop some major celebrity names in the coming lawsuits.
They just focusing on dropping Hollywood. That's what they focused on.
Even without these celebrity names, the new allegations against Diddy are still startling and incredibly disturbing. Okay, I know you're multitasking when you're watching our videos, but if you're out running errands, listen up. I have to tell you about this free app. It's called Upside. It gives you cash back on daily essentials. I actually just went on a road trip with one of my best friends and we had to stop for gas. So of course I used Upside because it's free and easy to use. Here's what you do. Download Upside and claim an offer for whatever you're buying. Pay as usual and then just follow the steps in the app to get paid. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside. Or scan the QR code on the screen and use our promo code LCNews to get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas. Let's start with the case of Jane Doe, a female who now lives in Alabama. Just a note, every plaintiff in these filings is listed as a Jane or John Doe to maintain their anonymity. What makes this Jane Doe's accusation so shocking is that she was allegedly only 13 years old at the time of the assault, one of the youngest survivors so far. The first page of the lawsuit comes out swinging, reading, quote, "Defendant Combs drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at a house party. Many
I got some questions about that.
To stop it. Some participated in it. Combs has been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he's above the law. He is not. This next part is
I got some questions about that, bro.
Lawsuits. That behind the facade of being a 3-time Grammy Award winner, discovering and developing multiple famous musical artists, and ranking on Forbes' list of the highest paid entertainers in the world, there existed something sinister, a dark underbelly of crime, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, bribery, and prostitution. Combs is a menace to society, women, and children. The lawsuits state Combs' business enterprise is central to the pervasive acts of sexual assault and abuse committed by him during the last decades. There are companies like Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Books Holdings, Bad Boy Records, and Combs Enterprises that have been headquartered in both Los Angeles and Manhattan. On the surface, these are legitimate operations, but behind the curtains, they were allegedly fronts to sexually assault, abuse, threaten, and coerce hundreds of individuals through sexual quid pro quo schemes. According to all 5 suits, Combs and his staff engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and prostitutions. This abuse was, at times, verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. As part of his pattern of abuse, Combs manipulated both men and women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with both commercial sex workers and unsuspecting partygoers. Combs ensured participation from these individuals by, among other things, obtaining and distributing narcotics to them with or without their knowledge, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation, violence, and illicit drugs. The lawsuits then go on to reference the Cassandra Ventura lawsuit. That's the civil suit filed last November that really opened the floodgates in terms of the allegations against Diddy. The filing also references other civil suits filed by Liza Gardner and Joy Dickerson Neal, or even more recent filings like that of Dawn Richard. And then comes mention of the federal indictment, which all 5 plaintiffs used to boost their claims. Their suits read, quote, "The indictment explains that Combs' abuse of women and minors was enabled and conspired with by the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice." All the lawsuits also include mention of defendants 1 through 10, who are listed only as does. These defendants are currently unknown celebrities and or persons of interest who enabled and or conspired with the commission of the conduct explained of herein. As the parties engage in discovery, plaintiff retains the right to amend the complaint to add these individuals by name. So basically, celebrities could soon be revealed in these very lawsuits. In the meantime, the allegations from Jane Doe are startling enough. Her case dates back to 2000, when she was just 13 years old. On or around September 13th, 2000, Jane Doe was dropped off at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. It was the night of the Video Music Awards, or the VMAs. Outside, Jane Doe remembers large crowds and some artists or entertainers who started to arrive. The award show soon started, and Jane Doe still didn't have a ticket, so she stuck around outside, eventually approaching some limo drivers nearby. One such driver happened to work for Diddy. He told her that Combs liked younger girls and said she fit what Diddy was looking for, not allowing her into the awards, but inviting her to an after party. The driver instructed plaintiff, that's
So
Jane
wait,
Doe.
Hold on now. Not the doggone driver trying to sit up here and be a part of the action, sir. What? One of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for Diddy. Told her that, come on, man, not you. Not the limousine driver sitting up here trying to clarify that's what Diddy likes. Sir, no. Not the limousine driver.
Return around 9:30 or 10.
And that honestly just goes to show a lot of the people that were around him, celebrity or not, aided everything with what went on. You know, I'm not trying to sit up here and dig too deep into it, but that just goes to show a lot of people who he had working for him and around him, they aided him and literally helped him in those crazy, horrifying moments, bro.
Promising to take her to the party. Later that evening, plaintiff excitedly returned to the driver, who drove her alone in a black limousine with black interior. Jane Doe spent about 20 minutes inside the limo until she arrived at a large white house behind a gated fence. Jane Doe entered to find multiple celebrities that she recognized, waitstaff carrying large drinks, loud music, and a lot of drug use, including marijuana and cocaine. Once inside, two men asked plaintiff to sign a non-disclosure agreement, informing her that she could not discuss what happened at the party. She gave them her name and signed the form, but did not receive a copy. Eventually, Jane Doe accepted a drink that was reddish-yellow mixture, tasting of orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. Jane Doe believes Diddy or his associates slipped something into her drink. And the lawsuit even includes a photo of the container used to put GHB into drinks. After drinking just one drink, plaintiff began to feel woozy and lightheaded, making her need to lie down. Looking for a place to rest, plaintiff entered what she believed to be an empty bedroom so she could lie down for a moment. She did not lock the door. Soon after, Combs, along with a male and female celebrity, entered the room. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." As Jane Doe recalls, Diddy threw her toward a male celebrity, listed only as Celebrity A, who took off her clothes. After that, she says Celebrity A raped her, while Diddy and a female celebrity, referred to as Celebrity B, watched along. After all
this my thing. If it wasn't for the doggone limousine driver, she would have never been in that situation. The limousine driver did that. He set that up. Because they already knew what type of time Diddy was on, bro. They already knew it. That doggone limousine driver, I don't know if it was a he or a she, whoever it is, nah, they set that up. They knew exactly what they was doing.
Down. As Diddy raped her, Celebrity B was still watching all this. Later, Diddy tried to force Jane Doe to perform oral sex on him, but she resisted and hit him in the neck. At that point, he stopped. Jane Doe then ran from the room naked, searching for an exit to the home. She eventually put her clothes back on and ran to a nearby gas station. The clerk there noticed Jane Doe seemed to be distressed and allowed her to use the phone. Jane Doe then called her dad, saying she had lied about where she was going and asked him.
But no, this my thing though. This is why I say I got questions. I'm not trying to bash I ain't trying to bash the girl parents. I'm not trying to bash the girl parents. But you drop your daughter off at a musical awards event? I think that's what they said. A musical awards event, bro? And she couldn't get in at 13? That just sounds a little off. You know what I'm saying? Like you drop your teenage daughter who just turned, she ain't number 13. 13. And you drop her off at 13. Man, I got so many more questions. I ain't even gonna sit up there and get stuck on that part. It's just, man.
Of her life. The same can be said for another Jane Doe, who says she was assaulted by Diddy in Las Vegas in 2014. This Jane Doe lives in Alabama now, but says she met up with Diddy at a party on Memorial Day weekend in 2014. Describing the setting, Jane Doe says Diddy's infamous Las Vegas parties were legendary events, known for their exclusivity, extravagance, and celebrity guest list. These high-profile parties attracted A-list celebrities from across the entertainment, fashion, and business worlds. The events were lavishly decorated, featured live music performances, and boasted top-tier food and beverages. The atmosphere at these parties was one of opulence and luxury, often making headlines for their celebrity guest lists, over-the-top entertainment, and the stunning aesthetics of the event. Many unsuspecting individuals were recruited to attend these parties. Some individuals were recruited in various cities and were paid to fly in and to attend these functions. Jane Doe attended one such party when she and two of her friends visited Las Vegas in 2014. The group was staying at Hotel Rio. While there, Jane Doe reached out to other people she'd met in the entertainment industry to see if there were any cool events taking place. She reached out to someone only identified as International Smooth, someone she'd met at a party in Miami just a few years prior. Based on his Instagram stories, Jane Doe knew he was in Las Vegas and soon discovered he worked as a party promoter. After that, he invited her to an exclusive party at a popular poolside lounge called Club Rehab. The only catch was that Jane Doe had to go to the party alone, meaning her two friends couldn't join. After what the lawsuit calls some awkwardness, Jane Doe relented and headed to the party solo. While at the party, Jane Doe met many celebrities, including Mary J. Blige, Lil' Kim, and Nicki Minaj. She saw more that she did not meet. Plaintiff Jane Doe took pictures or videos with many of these celebrities and posted them to her private Instagram page. She also met Diddy, who said he hoped she was having fun at the party. Eventually, the party at Club Rehab died down, and Plaintiff was invited by Smooth to attend an after party at Combs' suite at the Planet Hollywood Hotel. While there, Plaintiff spoke to Combs again, and he directed her to a bar area with tens of dozens of open bottles of his Ciroc branded vodka. Combs directed Plaintiff to grab a bottle and help herself. Plaintiff also took videos of Combs at the party and posted them to her Instagram. Jane Doe's lawsuit actually includes screenshots from these videos. You can clearly see Diddy front and center. After all this, Diddy urged Jane Doe to take a few sips of what she thought was vodka from an open Ciroc bottle. She only had 1 or 2 drinks, but about 40 minutes later, Jane Doe started to feel nauseated and dizzy. She even began to lose control of her motor functions. So Jane Doe found Smooth and told him she wasn't feeling well, so she planned to leave. Instead, he pointed her in the direction of an empty bedroom and told her to lie down. He said Jane Doe would be left alone and the door would be locked. The next thing Jane Doe recalls is waking up the following morning, feeling very groggy and sore. Her entire body hurt, and it felt difficult to move. As soon as she awoke, she saw Combs in the corner of the room, shirtless and yelling loudly and with animation at someone over the phone. He was the only person in the room with her, and it was clear that someone else had been in bed with her. Out of fear and confusion, Plaintiff remained silent and still until Combs left the room and she heard the front door to the suite close. When Jane Doe got up, she realized she was naked, and she was extremely sore in her genital area. At that point, she realized
Lord,
she'd been...
Jesus. Wow. 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 Wow.
by Diddy. Jane Doe left the room and went back to Hotel Rio, where her friends were staying. She slept for the next 2 days, only remembering vague glimpses of her friends trying to wake her up and offer her water. Afterwards, her friends told her that they did their best to take care of her during this time, but she was largely incoherent. Jane Doe says since 2014, not a day has gone by that she didn't think of this incident. Jane Doe believes she was drugged with some spiked Ciroc vodka, while John Doe says he was sexually assaulted at a party promoting Ciroc. This party apparently happened in Los Angeles in or around 2022. It was hosted by Ciroc and Diddy, who owned some stake in the company and was a celebrity spokesperson for the drink. Prior to this party, John Doe had a long-standing relationship with him.
Hey, for all y'all that like to drink Ciroc, you might not want to pick up that Ciroc bottle in the liquor store no more. And liquor stores, y'all might not want to sell that Ciroc no more. It might got some of that Diddy potion up in it.
John Doe is a businessman in
all
LA.
jokes aside,
He specializes in renting luxury cars and jewelry. In the past, John Doe had rented cars or jewelry to Diddy and members of his entourage. John Doe showed up at this party after Diddy himself personally extended an invitation. John Doe agreed based on his past relationship with Diddy. At the party, John Doe noticed some pretty high-profile celebrities in both the entertainment and music industry. His lawsuit includes some pics of this, with Diddy on the couch discussing his Ciroc business with other high-profile people. The lawsuit goes on to state that during the event, Combs instructed John Doe to join him in Combs' private office. Plaintiff went into the office where the two were alone. Plaintiff assumed Combs wanted to have a discussion about business. However, Plaintiff immediately realized Combs was intoxicated and acting strangely. Combs began awkwardly moving closer to Plaintiff. As he did so, Combs removed his pants and exposed his genitals to Plaintiff. Combs continued to move closer and then grabbed Plaintiff's genitals through his pants, squeezing them in a rough and sexual manner. Plaintiff, shocked and disoriented, froze momentarily and did not know how to respond to the weirdly inappropriate sexual advances made by Combs. This situation apparently escalated until someone, referred to as Professional Athlete A, entered the office and interrupted this assault. John Doe left the party and went home, but took a picture of the Ciroc bottle from the party. This same year as that John Doe's alleged assault, another John Doe alleges he too was assaulted by Diddy at a Los Angeles after party. This John Doe is a personal trainer who's familiar with celebrities and notable people who he coaches in health and fitness. One such client was a fashion designer who in 2022 told John Doe she'd shared his workout videos with Diddy. Diddy was apparently impressed and wanted to meet John Doe and even feature him in a video. So this fashion designer invited John Doe to attend an exclusive award show after party hosted by Diddy. On June 27, 2022, a black Lincoln Navigator arrived at John Doe's home to escort him to Diddy's house in the Hollywood Hills. When John Doe arrived, one of Combs' business associates greeted him at the entrance. This person explained plaintiff, John Doe, needed to execute a non-disclosure agreement as a condition of entry into the party. Plaintiff ultimately consented to the agreement because he wanted to meet Combs
Got them
and
people
have a
signing
opportunity to
NDAs.
promote himself and his business. John Doe didn't get a copy of this NDA, but instead
Got them
was
people
handed
over
it
there
to
signing nigga don't snitches. That's exactly what he got them signing. Them doggone NDAs is nigga don't snitch. That's exactly what, that's another name for the NDA, nigga don't snitch.
that looked like tequila soda with a cranberry
Shoot.
mixer. John Doe told he wasn't allowed into the party unless he drank it. So, wanting to get into the party, John Doe took a few sips. Inside the party, John Doe ran into a model who he helped train. At that point, he felt more comfortable seeing a familiar face. In addition to this model, numerous celebrities were at this party, something that John Doe called a glamorous yet overwhelming atmosphere. All this continued when one of Diddy's associates guided John Doe into a small room with red lights. Inside, he saw about a dozen people, including some high-profile celebrities, engaging in group sex. Once inside this smaller room, plaintiff began to feel disoriented, dizzy, and weak, far beyond what he would expect from consuming a single alcoholic beverage. It became clear to him that something was wrong. He later realized someone had drugged him. It was at this moment that Diddy approached John Doe and allegedly began performing non-consensual oral sex on him.
Whoa.
Diddy then told John Doe to perform oral sex on another person in the room, identified as Celebrity A. John Doe says he was hazy and disoriented because of this spiked drink, so he felt
Hold on now, we gotta take a little pause on that. What? What? All jokes aside, bro, I am not trying to be funny. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You being in the parties and then they forcing you to sign NDAs. You gotta take a certain amount of sips of some sort of liquor just to get in the party. And every single drink that you consume probably got something up in it. That's so horrific, bro. That's horrific. My heart goes out to them people, bro. I know that. That leaves you with permanent trauma right there. Being in that situation, especially when you ain't got no control of yourself. You can't fight nobody off. You can't fend for yourself. You can't do nothing. That junk there, boy. Woo. Man.
He felt trapped inside his own body, unable
It's
to
a lot more uglier than what I thought it was, bro.
As a result, plaintiff was forced to perform non-consensual oral sex onto Celebrity A. After Celebrity A finished, this individual spit into plaintiff's mouth. But the assault didn't stop there. The drugs continued to make John Doe more and more out of it, affecting his memory and his motor skills. While in and out of consciousness, individuals at the party forced plaintiff into sexual acts with both men and women. Plaintiff's physical disposition made it impossible for him to reject their advances or otherwise control his body. These individuals, including Combs, essentially passed plaintiff's drugged body around like a party favor for their sexual enjoyment. Eventually, the drugs
and see, look, that's the crazy part about it right there. Because by the time the people actually come back to their senses, so many people in that party have had their way with you. You don't know what done happened. You don't know who done got the chance. You don't know who done did what. That's crazy for both the men and women who've been on the side that have been violated, bruh. That's crazy. it's kind of hard now to sit up here and say that's cap when it come to Diddy. The Cassie situation kind of opened up the gate for all of this stuff here to kind of flow through and come out. So with that being said, the only reason I say that is because Diddy denied beating Cassie, but that footage came out. So anything else that comes out, it's kind of hard to sit up here and say he ain't do it or let me see proof. It's you more than likely saying, yeah, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
system caused him to lose consciousness, and he doesn't remember anything during this period of time. When he woke up, John Doe was disoriented. He was outside his apartment, but was missing his shirt and his phone. He still doesn't know how he got home. John Doe says, as a direct result of the traumatic events at Diddy's party, he suffered severe emotional and psychological trauma, including the loss of his livelihood. Yet another lawsuit tells a similar story from another survivor, Jane Doe out of North Carolina. Her incident occurred around December 2022, when she was a 29-year-old independent music artist. Everything started when she was invited to a party hosted by Diddy. Upon arrival, plaintiff Jane Doe observed a large, white, elegant residence, which stood apart from the other homes in the area and was accessed by a long, curved driveway. The house was adorned with lavish decor, featuring a grand entryway, a spacious room, and large glass table. Once inside, servers offered platters of food and drinks, creating a luxurious and upscale atmosphere. Plaintiff quickly recognized various celebrities from the music industry and television, including Combs himself. Jane Doe says she noticed widespread drug use at this party, including cocaine, pills, and marijuana. She didn't try anything, and instead had one single glass of wine. At some point during the event, plaintiff was approached by and engaged in a conversation with Combs about her music career. Combs expressed interest in her work, stating his desire to help elevate her career by featuring her on a track. During this conversation, Diddy suggested Jane Doe come into his office so they could continue to discuss her career. Once inside the office, Jane Doe started feeling disoriented, slipping in and out of consciousness. At that point, she realized she'd been drugged. Jane Doe says after all this, Diddy raped her. She wasn't able to stop him because of the drugs in her system. She says it was as if she was trapped inside her body, not participating, but not able to resist. The next thing Jane Doe remembered clearly is waking up at 6 a.m. She was confused and disoriented, but was still in Diddy's office. After checking herself, plaintiff discovered blood on her legs from her vaginal area and bruising on her hips. She also found deep imprints on her arms and wrists, suggesting she had been tied with ropes. Additionally, she felt significant pain and soreness in her vaginal region. Jane Doe says she was overwhelmed with fear and panic and frantically began searching for her phone and clothes. She didn't find them, but put on a pair of pants, a shirt, and slides, and then left the home. The plaintiffs in all 5 of these new lawsuits request a jury trial from Diddy, citing damages and emotional distress. Meanwhile, he's all tied up with the criminal side of things, awaiting his federal trial set for next May. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the charges, and his attorney released a statement reading in part, quote, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but is not criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with the investigation. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court.
Your iPhone
What?
16 needs.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. With a lot of these allegations coming out, I would still want to like see some kind of proof before I just go off and say, you know what I'm saying, this and that. But still, bro, it's at a point now for a lot of people where if they say he did it, more than likely you're already gonna be like, yeah, he did it. For sure. He did it. So it's like that now, bro. But listen, y'all let me know what y'all think, because as far as I'm concerned, you don't hear stories often, or you don't see interviews often where they describe the details and all of that of what happened to all these people. But you know all these people have been violated in some kind of way. So y'all just let me know what y'all think, man. This is the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment. Most importantly, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that post notification bell. Set it to all. Our social media links will be in the description. I ain't even gonna cap, I'm tired. But all social media links will be in the description. The link to the previous reaction video will be there as well. Follow me on all my social medias. Click the link to the previous reaction video and watch that whole video after you watch this whole video, man. I say this every video so y'all won't forget. I'm still partnered with Sean Armour. All of the information will be in the description still. The website is down, and I'm going to let y'all know when they get it back up and running, man. But that's besides the point. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all for showing me love back. And we out this thing, man, for real.
Like I 6 pack, took it up, working